All right, what's up, mi gente? Welcome back to the Teal Grit podcast. In this episode, we have a very special guest, mi sobrino Cristian Solorio, my nephew Cristian Solorio. Let's get into it.
What's up, everybody?
What's up?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yep, can hear you loud and clear, man.
Well, thanks for the introduction. My name is Cristian Solorio, sobrino. This is my tío right here, Samuel. Shout out to San Jose.
El tío Samuel. I always feel like I'm hella old when you call me tío.
I know. I'm really not used to calling you that. I mean, when we were growing up, I mean, same age and going out, playing outside, and it's like, never, calling you that never really crossed my mind,
I know, because growing up, we would always hang out, and I mean, we don't know anything about calling someone tío or who the hell is who, like the hierarchy of family.
Yeah, especially when you're around the same age.
Exactly.
And you're outside playing freeze tag and stuff like that.
Hell yeah.
Cops and robbers,
We've had plenty of good times growing up. And just
Edith Street.
Edith Street, yeah. And where was this? Santa Rosa? I always forget. Santa Rosa, Petaluma.
Petaluma.
Petaluma, yeah, Petaluma. So that's where I used to kick it a lot. I grew up over there with my tia and obviously you guys and everybody else. So
yeah, so we go way back.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so much history, and I think I want to start in the beginning of before even music. Like, ¿qué pasó? ¿Cuáles eran tus influences? Would you say that when you started getting into music, like listening to music and like any family influences? ¿Qué es lo que
Well, back when I was younger, music didn't really, have a grasp on my mind in a way that, I said, oh, I want to be a musician, or I want to learn how to play an instrument, or I mean, when you're a kid, maybe one of the first things could be, oh, I want to learn how to play an instrument, or you get curious about playing the guitar or the piano, or maybe even singing. But really, none of that stuff interested me when I was young.
Mm-hmm.
I was more into video games and I used to draw a lot.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know if you remember. I used to draw Disney characters, Mickey Mouse, and I used to draw Dragon Ball Z characters. Dragon Ball Z was more when I was after 10 years old.
Oh.
But before I was 10 and younger, I was drawing, like I said, like Looney Tunes characters and Disney and things like that.
That's crazy. I don't remember that you drew like that, because I used to love drawing too, and I do the Dragon Ball Z stuff too. That was like one of my favorite things to do.
Yeah, I used to draw all the time, and in high school, I mean, I was drawing and I was in art class and cool. Submitted a couple of drawings to art contests and things like that.
Is that something you want to pursue, like animation or anything like that, or what?
Yeah, well, when I was younger, I was thinking, because I used to like to draw cars too, and I would kind of play around with that and design my own cars and stuff. And there was a time where I was like, oh, I want to be like a car and like car design, automotive design.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a time where I thought to myself, well, I want to be an architect, design houses and all kinds of things like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's a point in my life, yeah, where drawing was kind of like, oh, I want to be in something that has to do with drawing career. Yeah.
¿Y lo que pasó?
I I don't know. I did go to university, and I did graphic design. I kind of started. I did, what was it? Maybe a semester
Uh-huh.
or two, and I just remember doing the classes. It was like a certain class that I really enjoyed, the painting class and other type of drawing classes. But when it came to there's like shapes, knowing your shapes and what goes with what, kind of more into the design aspect of it. I was kind of like,
not my
I don't
thing.
know if I like. Yeah, I don't know if it was my thing. So I don't know. I kind of veered away from that, and when it comes to music, I do remember I was young. Back in the day, our parents used to watch novelas.
Oh yeah, plenty of them too.
I can't remember what age I was, but there was a novela that came out, and it had the theme song was a Vicente Fernandez song.
Vicente Fernandez.
And I remember when I was younger, I would sing along to that song. But and I would sing along to it, and I would get into it and everything. But it still never crossed my mind, like, oh, I want to be a singer when I grow up.
Yeah.
It still never crossed my mind. But I remember the song. It was it goes like this. I'm just gonna sing it for you, a little piece of it.
A ver.
It was a Si me dejas, no me olvides, por favor, nunca me olvides. Tú sabes cuánto te quiero. Si me dejas, no me olvides, por favor, nunca me olvides. Me voy a quitar de en medio. ¿Qué más quieres? ¿Qué más quieres?
Yeah.
So I don't know if you remember.
I think I remember.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah. So I remember that novela would come on, and that song would. Yeah, I would like to sing along to it, and that song just always stuck in my head.
Oh.
And when people ask me, oh, when did this whole music thing come about?
Yeah.
It always makes me remember that novela and that song. But it's just weird to me that it never, crossed my mind back then that, I want to be a singer when I grow up.
Yeah.
It's just kind of odd to me.
Porque if I recall, me and you, you had your own time, your own era, pero los dos éramos hyphy. We're both Bay Area to the core.
Yep,
Okay.
Yeah, I remember when the whole hyphy thing was going on.
Yeah. That's even our cousin Ulises is hyphy to the core. Shout out Ulises.
Yeah. Yeah, but shout out to the primo. Yeah, but that was, I feel like that was after. That was later on. But, and when I'm telling about this novela, I could have been less than 10 years old.
Oh, yeah. So this is before anything then.
Yeah, correct.
So you're basically singing these novelas, and ¿qué decían tus padres? Like, were they vibing or what? They're like, all right, you should be a singer.
Honestly, I don't even remember, their reaction, or maybe I wasn't singing it loud enough. It was maybe I was kind of just singing it to myself.
Yeah.
Maybe they never even heard me. but yeah, I I have no memory
Yeah.
of my parents with you know
What a-
referring. I mean, with me singing that song.
what about when you picked up your first instrument? Like, how did that happen?
So that happened. That happened because I would say maybe I was 18 or 19, and I would hang out with my dad, and we would go over to his brother's house, and his brother plays the guitar,
Mm-hmm.
and my uncles would get together, and they would invite some friends over, and they would jam out. They
Mm.
would just play songs, drink some brews, and I would hang out with them,
Yeah.
and it just really caught my attention. Seeing my uncle playing the guitar, and then I'm pretty sure I told him like, oh, I want to learn or something to that extent.
Mm-hmm.
Showed him that I had interest in it,
Yeah.
and he he ended up giving me an old guitar that he had,
Oh.
and I took that back to Texas with me,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, I just started, and before I left, he showed me a little bit of the basic chords, um, and yeah, I went back to Texas and I practiced, what he showed me, and from there, um, yeah, I mean, I just started learning little by little. So yeah, my first instrument was the guitar.
And the way
Like I
you
said, I was about 18, 19, I think.
the way you learn is just what you just practice on your own. Like, would you even was someone teaching you, or you just kind of just winging it?
Nah, no one really taught. I mean, he did show me some of the basic things, like
Mm-hmm.
the like I said, the chords, um, and I'm pretty sure I looked up videos online,
Yeah.
to kind of learn more.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Everything's online
uh,
now.
yeah, that's how I've tried to learn a lot of the instruments that I've picked up is online videos.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't really gone to any teachers or anything like that.
Would you say that? What would you say is the best way to learn the guitar? And I mean, I know there's a lot of ways, but how do you think you should start playing the guitar? Because I even want to play it, but I don't even know where to start.
Yeah. Um, I mean, the best way I feel like would be with somebody showing you,
Mm,
um, because that way, if you have any questions,
yeah.
they can answer your questions, or if they see that you're doing something wrong,
Yeah.
they can point it out to you, um, show you how to do things the right way. Because the thing is, when you're learning an instrument, if you can get into the habit of doing things a certain way that
Mm,
might not be the correct way,
yeah.
or they might be for you, it might be the easy way.
Mm,
Um, but it would be better if you learn how to do things the right way. That way, um, you just start practicing the right way, and you learn the right way.
mm,
And because, for example, me, like I said, I've never gone to any teachers or anything like that.
yeah.
Um, so I would just do things, like I said, watching videos online, and maybe taking shortcuts.
Uh-huh.
Like let's say, for example, I see a video of somebody playing the accordion. This is how you play the song, and I say to myself, "Oh well, I can't really do it this way, so I'm just going to do it this way."
Mm.
Um, that could be, a good thing or a bad thing. Um,
But I feel like that's isn't that kind of part of someone's style? No dirías que es como this is the way that I do it, and because I'm sure there's a lot of
Yeah,
musicians that don't do everything by the book, and like they're known for that, right? For doing whatever they're doing.
yeah. I definitely think that it could be you know it could turn into someone's style or like you said something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I guess what I'm trying to refer to is like techniques or using the right fingers, which
Yeah.
fingers to use on certain chords, how to position your fingers,
Mm-hmm.
how to position your hand, um, just tips like that, I guess.
And for like someone starting off, let's say I start practicing today.
Hmm.
What would you say is like the timeline for like an average person to learn how to start playing the guitar? Like, how long do you think it would take to get to a pretty decent playing
Uh,
playing?
I would say, for example, if you start practicing the basic chords on a guitar,
Yeah,
um, I would say you can like within a week you could maybe see some progress.
yeah, it's pretty good.
But that's if you are very consistent with
The
practice.
teacher too, huh?
But and what if you don't have a teacher?
I
You know,
guess. Yeah,
let's say if you started today,
yeah.
how would you start? I mean, do you have access to a teacher today?
I mean, these
I would,
times it'd be different. It'd probably be on it'd
right?
be online or something.
Yeah. So I would say, okay, he's going to pick up the guitar today, and what I would recommend is YouTube videos.
Yeah, yeah. Everything's on YouTube.
And they're going to show you, all right, this is how you do your your A chord, G chord, C chord.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to show you some chord progressions, and they show you, okay, put your finger here on this string and this fret. They basically tell you how to do everything.
What?
And yes, you're going to have to pause it and rewind
Yeah.
but if you practice every day, you can see some progress. I would say in a week
Yeah.
your brain will start picking it up and say, okay, and your brain and your fingers they'll they'll know where to go and yeah, that's
It'll
how you
become
learn.
muscle memory.
Yeah, muscle memory.
What if I want to become like Ariel Camacho? How long would it take me to get to that level?
Ooh,
Because
you know,
that's the requintos, right?
yeah, yeah, that's the 12 string acoustic 12 string steel string guitar.
Oh, for people that don't know, what are requintos? Like that kind of style. What does that mean?
Basically, what they use in that kind of music,
Mm-hmm.
um,
Because you know that
que se
thing is
llama,
that's popular right now, so it's like it's a good topic, you know.
yeah, it's like música sierreña
Uh huh.
is what they call it, and the guitar they use is a six string uh, guitar,
Mm-hmm.
steel string, and then they'll use a 12 string steel string guitar.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one they use to do the melodies, to do the what we call adornos. Um,
Mm.
that's what they use. That's what Ariel Camacho played.
Yeah.
He played the 12 string, and then either you can use the tuba or the electric bass or a tololoche,
Uh huh.
which is an upright bass. Whatever the preference is for the group.
Yeah.
Um,
How
but
many?
back to the
And no, sorry. Before we go back, and what is that compared to like a regular guitar? How many strings is a regular one versus a 12
uh,
string?
I would say that it's a little bit more challenging to play a guitar with more strings
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like you do have to apply more pressure on the strings,
Mm.
um, and
What if?
and you just have to cover your your finger has to press down on the two strings,
Yeah. Oh,
and I just feel like it's just a little more challenging.
that's cool. Some insight on that.
And one of the hardest things for me is the speed.
Yeah, I noticed that all of those are
Playing
pretty quick.
playing yes, they're like
Yeah, right.
and you're just like, how do they do that?
Yeah, yeah. You,
Because you have to with the pick, you have to pick the string,
yeah,
and with your left hand, you have to press down on the same string that you're picking.
yeah.
So that has to be precise.
Damn, that's
And
really
then
quick.
and then to do it fast,
Yeah.
it amazes me uh, seeing, there's a lot of great guitarists out there.
Uh-huh.
I'm not one of them,
Oh, wow.
uh, but there's a lot of great guitarists out there, and it just amazes me how they play and how fast they can play. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I'm always that's why I like Ariel Camacho style because he does all that requinto. I mean, I guess it's a really popular thing right now too with a lot of music. Usan mucho
Yeah,
ese tipo de estilo, you know?
yes, definitely.
I think that's pretty cool. So, getting back to the music, yeah, you growing up.
Well, I
Uh,
didn't answer the question of how long it would take to get to that level.
oh yeah, yeah. How long would it take?
I, and I also feel like it depends on your musical ability. I just feel like there's people that they just pick things up so quickly. They just
Hmm.
have that natural gift.
Yeah.
For somebody like that, I mean, they can pick something up like that in days and
Hmm.
days and weeks.
Those are the gifted
And
ones, huh?
yeah, those are the really gifted musicians out there. And for other people that that have never picked up an instrument in their life,
Yeah.
that pick up an instrument later on in their life, um, it could take. I feel like it takes months,
Yeah.
to really get on that level.
Yeah.
It could take months, maybe a year.
Damn.
It all depends on the player. Yeah.
So you're saying a few months to possibly a year?
Yep.
Mm. That sounds
And you gotta really push yourself in practice,
sounds
and
about
it gets frustrating. Let me tell you, especially for me, I get frustrated because it's a lot of repetition.
yeah.
You repeat the same thing over and over again, and you fail, and then sometimes you get it down. Sometimes you mess up, and then you just start over again, and that becomes frustrating. And sometimes you just want to smash your guitar.
Damn. Hey, but is it? Don't you think that's the dope part of being a human is that you get to learn things, and if you apply enough practice, you can learn how to do it. Like that's pretty amazing, you know?
Yeah, your brain and your muscles, like you said, the muscle memory,
Yeah.
it starts to put in work.
It's like anything in life, right? Learn a new language, learn a new skill, whatever it is. It's pretty amazing how we could apply the focus and uh, consistency, and all of a sudden you're whoever you want to be.
Yeah,
It's pretty
yep,
dope.
that's right.
That's cool, man. So yeah, so you started with the guitar. Luego, did you start like singing at the same time you started playing the guitar, or how did that happen?
Uh, yeah, not. exactly at the same time. I would say a little bit after.
Mm-hmm.
That's when the singing kind of started because I said to myself, well, if I'm going to play the guitar,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not just going to play the guitar and not sing. It kind of goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
Um, so so yeah, I started to sing, and I think by then I was already interested in who would become my idol, Javier Solis.
Yeah.
He's he was one of the greatest mariachi singers of all time.
Yeah.
Um,
I always hear that
so
from you.
yeah, I have a basically like a poster of him in my room on my wall
Yeah.
of him holding up a prize that he that he got from looks like Columbia. I don't know if it's Columbia Records or Pictures or I'm not sure what it is, but
And that's when you know. That's when you know it's real. That you look up to someone. You know that you have a poster on the wall.
yeah,
Yeah.
right by my bed. So,
It's-
but
it's dope.
yeah, I'm thinking by then when I started to learn how to play the guitar, I had already been inspired also by Javier Solis. Um, and so yeah, I started to practice singing, and you know, obviously I was a little nervous to sing and play around people at first. So my voice, I wouldn't really project my voice uh, so much. I wouldn't sing as loud. My voice was deeper because I didn't really know how to sing, I guess, or I hadn't really sang before.
Mm-hmm.
So, so yeah, I guess my voice, my singing voice wasn't really developed yet. Um, but I mean, I still practiced the guitar, practiced uh, songs, my favorite songs. And yeah, then I started playing at family gatherings,
Yeah.
and I got the courage and I mean, family members, they knew that I was practicing the guitar and said, "Hey, man, play some songs for us."
Yeah.
And and yeah, I mean, I was like, well, you know, I thought to myself, I mean, I'm learning, and I'm not the greatest, but why not?
Yeah.
And yeah, I would sing at the gatherings, and my voice was a lot deeper because I just I wasn't you know I wasn't
You weren't
what's the way
weren't a little boy anymore.
I wasn't I hadn't practiced, so my voice wasn't.
uh, no estaba.
It,
It wasn't tuned up.
yeah, it wasn't ready to sing out loud.
How do you even
Uh,
know that you have a singing voice? You know what I mean?
uh, well, I feel like once you feel comfortable
Mm-hmm.
singing in front of people, you start to lose that fear, and you start to sing a little louder. You know,
Mm. Yeah. From the heart.
yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
When you sing with more passion,
Mm-hmm.
and once you get comfortable like that, you can sing, anywhere. You can sing in front of people. You can sing in front of a crowd of people you don't know.
You could
Um,
sing it. Tengo talento, mucho talento.
exactly. You can find the courage to be like, I'm going to go on a TV show
Bro, how did
and
that
sing in front
happen?
of
You gotta
people.
you gotta tell us the story.
So, so yeah, obviously by then, I was more, sure of my singing voice and ability,
Mm-hmm.
and actually by then I was already kind of trying to learn the accordion,
Uh,
which is what I played when I went on to the like the casting.
mm,
Um, like the tryouts, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I played this song by Voz de Mando,
Mm-hmm.
la de Versos de mi alma.
Mm.
Um, Estamos molestos, sufriendo por nada, aunque te diré un secreto, te miras linda enojada. And so I sang that song, and I played the accordion, along with it. I
Yeah.
played the melody at the beginning, and I actually I actually took a recording on my phone. I pressed
Mm.
the record button on my phone and I put it in my pocket, and
Yeah.
I was like, just for just to have it.
Yeah.
And I heard it. Um, can't remember when I heard it. I heard it recently. I found it, within all the files in my phone, and I listened to it, and I messed up in the melody. I pressed the wrong buttons on the accordion, and I was just
Oh
like,
shit.
I was I was like, oh my gosh, how embarrassing.
Y si la cagué.
And and I can't even remember how I felt when I was there, and
Mm.
when I messed up. I could just imagine I probably started sweating, and I just felt like I'm sure I was nervous as hell. Uh,
But you made
and
it to TV though.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what it was. I mean, I messed up on the accordion.
Yeah.
Um, I'm sure, you could tell that I was nervous,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, the judges that were there decided to give me the pass to go on the show, and from there, uh, they got me the plane ticket, and I went down to, I think it was Orange County or somewhere by LA
Bro,
to
I was looking
to
at
go
the
on the show.
video.
Yeah,
I was looking at the video and you did not look nervous at all in front of those judges. Were you hella nervous or
yeah. I
what?
mean, I got to admit, when I was on the show,
uh,
I was nervous,
yeah.
and I remember my hand shaking, and
Oh, dude.
I'm just thinking to myself like, oh man, like this is, you can totally tell on the video. And yeah, my hand is shaking, and I'm thinking, oh, the microphone's probably shaking.
Yeah.
But I just had to try my best to not let it show, and sing with my heart and sing with passion. You had the camera just like it got so close to me, because it was like on an arm or something.
Yeah.
The cameraman was like on this long arm, must have been like hydraulic
Yeah.
arm or something,
Yeah.
and he's like sitting on this thing and this camera, and they move it all over. And I remember it getting close to me while I was on the stage, and
You're like, oh
and
shit.
yeah, all the lights are on you.
Yeah.
There's people in the crowd, and then you have the three. I'm pretty sure. I think it was three judges right there, just zoomed in on you. And man,
Yeah.
it was nerve wracking. Yeah.
What about the crowd? Were they like? Because I've seen that some shows they kind of make the crowd clap and all that. Was that an organic thing or what?
Um, I think for some parts of the show, I think they do have signs that say, "Oh, everybody clap" and stuff like that.
Mm.
But some of the standing, I got like a standing ovation. I remember,
Oh yeah.
um, and I feel like it was like a natural thing. Like, I my performance was pretty good, my singing was good, so you know, everybody stood up and clapped,
Yeah.
and I think it was like a natural thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think so too. Just like the energy you brought, I think you're the one that people were clapping to, like they're feeling it. Everything seemed pretty on point. So
Yeah, and even before that show, uh, I had done other contests. Uh, I remember doing a contest in Petaluma. I'm pretty sure it was during the fair that they do.
hmm
Um, but a radio station was holding a singing contest, and I remember I participated in that, and I I took well, how it works is basically you take some like kind of like a karaoke background music thing, and I think I might have sang two songs
hmm
that I can remember. I remember it was I sang La Más Bonita de Todas,
mm
the Larry Hernandez version.
Yeah.
Aquel día en que la vi, me enamoré completamente de ella. I remember I did that one, and then I also sang a song by Los Invasores. It's called Para ti, mi amor. So I remember doing that one.
Nice.
Para ti, mujer, que eres en mi vida fe y consuelo. No te has de imaginar cuánto te quiero. No sabes cuánto me has hecho feliz. So yeah, I remember I had the whole stage to myself. It
Uh-huh.
was a huge stage, and there was a pretty big crowd because it was the fair, so there was a pretty big crowd,
hmm
and I was lucky that I had a lot of family there and relatives that were cheering me on,
Yeah.
and that made me feel good, and it made me feel a little bit more comfortable. Um, so yeah, I did that before Tengo Talento,
Mm.
and I would say that was like my first kind of
Taste.
yeah, my first taste of like a big crowd like that.
Yeah. No, that's
And
that's dope, man.
that was actually for and then the winner from there was sent off to another contest,
Mm.
and the contest was what was the name of that one? I think it might have been like La Academia or something.
Uh-huh.
I think that was a con a thing back then, La Academia, I think it was. And I actually went to like what city was it? It might have been Sunnyvale or somewhere down in the Bay.
In South Bay.
And I remember I remember singing the first song that I sang. I can't remember which one it was. Um, but yeah, I ended up not getting the pass,
Uh.
and that was kind of like I would say my first experience of um, doing like a contest like that.
Mm. That's dope, man. And you have all the experience too, doing all these concerts and playing in front of a live people at a TV recording, and now how did it all come together for the group? Because I know that must have been a process too, right? Like finding the people to start a group with and all that.
Yeah, it was definitely well. It all started off because, like I said, I started gaining interest in playing the accordion,
Mm-hmm.
because before I learned the accordion, I started to learn the bajo quinto, which is basically the same thing as the bajo sexto, which is the instrument they use in música norteña.
Mm.
So I started to learn that, and I would play in it was kind of like a group that we had going with my uncles,
Mm-hmm.
um, and I would play the bajo quinto,
Yeah.
which is basically like a guitar, and then after a while I thought to myself, you know, I, we need something or someone to play the melody, something that's that's loud and that stands out. And I told myself, the accordion. We love to play songs that are from música norteña,
Mm-hmm.
but no one plays the accordion. So I told myself, well, I'm gonna do it. So
Yeah.
yeah, I bought myself an accordion and I started to learn, and we put that into the little group we had with my uncles, and we would do parties, and it would be me playing the accordion, and it would be me singing
Mm.
most of the songs.
Yeah.
um, and then from there, I basically formed another group with another group of uh, guys, and I was the accordionist, I was the singer, um, doing both at the same time, which is
Mm.
it's challenging. Uh, so I did that for a bit. I would say maybe a year, maybe a year and a half. I'm not too sure.
Mm-hmm.
And then that group kind of fell apart. Some group members kind of went their own ways, and I guess probably
Is this
you know
Liberación Norteña?
yeah, back
Okay.
when it was Liberación Norteña.
I
Do you
remember
remember
that.
that video you
Yeah.
did for us?
Yeah.
At the park.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like uh, a couple of the guys went, I think, and maybe joined another group or something, and it just kind of fell apart.
I didn't know that was the first group that you were officially in.
Yeah. And like I said before that, I was playing with my uncles,
Mm-hmm.
and we called ourselves Los Revolcados.
Los Revolcados.
Yeah.
That's good.
So I guess you can kind of say that was like the first group. Um, and then from there it was Liberación Norteña, and then from there, that fell apart. And one day I was hanging out with a buddy of mine, and he plays the accordion and he plays the bajo quinto,
Uh-huh.
and we went out to Petaluma. There's to like a volleyball field type thing, and just buddies hanging out. They were playing volleyball, and we were kind of like on the sideline playing some songs. And this dude, he comes up to me and says, "Hey, like, we kind of have a group going on, and we're looking for a singer. You're interested?"
Mm-hmm.
And actually, you know what? It wasn't them. But the same guy that I'm telling you about, his name is Eric,
Okay.
my current bandmate. He was there at the volleyball game,
Yeah.
and then I think he grabbed the bajo quinto and maybe played a couple songs. But then I saw him a second time at it was like a soccer game.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's when he came up to me and said, "Hey, we're looking for a singer. Um, if you're interested, we're going to practice this day, come through, check it out, see if you like it. And yeah, I ended up going. And I remember when I first heard the guys play, like the first song, it was
Mm-hmm.
actually, I think it was the Ariel Camacho song, El Karma.
Mm, classic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew the song very well. I knew it by heart. So
Yeah, everybody
you
knows
know,
that song.
yeah. So that's the first song they played, and
Mm.
I remember being impressed. I was like, damn, these guys are good. And I sang the song, and right then and there, I decided. I was like, yep, like let's do this.
Yeah,
I'm in. You know, and from there, yeah, you know, I was the last piece to the puzzle, and
that's where you started Escolta, right?
yeah, it
Okay.
was Escolta 05, yeah.
Yeah.
Which, man, let me tell you, finding a name for a group is so hard.
I
When
remember
you're
that.
when you're brainstorming and thinking of names,
Yeah.
and then you look it up online, you look it up on Facebook to see if it
Yeah.
exists, and then
Yeah.
and then it already exists, and you're just like, damn, I really like that name too. We really like that name,
What
but
what
no,
what
you got to
were
keep.
what were some names that you guys really liked that they were taking?
Honestly, I can't think
Mm.
uh, of an exact name.
Oh,
Um,
so your Escolta
if I had the guys here with me, they could help me out with
Yeah.
remembering this. But
Ya estás
but
viejito, pues.
yeah, yeah, man. Ya estoy ruco.
So Escolta 05, and then that lasted for what, like about a year or two, maybe, or how long that last?
Yeah, I would say about a year, and then we told ourselves like, I think we need to change the name. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay. That name's not all that great.
Doesn't reflect who you guys are.
Yeah,
Mm.
and and then back to the brainwashing again. Brainstorming, not brainwashing. Brainstorming, like, okay, well, what are we gonna call ourselves? Like, you know, it was almost like looking for a new identity,
Mm-hmm.
and and yeah, I suggested, or I was like, oh, what about La Agencia? Because we were thinking about other group names. For example, um, we wanted it to be like short, like a
Yeah.
short name. You have your Intocables, you have uh, La Mafia, you have
Yeah.
La Firma, you have Pesado, um, and we kind of wanted it to be we want a name like that, either a word or two short words, make it La
Mm-hmm.
something, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I thought to myself, oh, well, we could be like, uh, let's see, what would we wear? What would our outfit be?
Mm-hmm.
Because you have like La Mafia wears those hats.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of hats they are. And then you have like Banda Machos. They wear their outfits. Um, so I was like, what if we? I was kind of thinking to myself, like, the gangsters back in like the 40s and like Prohibition era.
Yeah.
I was like, man, maybe, what if we dressed up like that? Like maybe a name that kind of goes with that,
Mm.
or like if we were like agents of of like I don't know, the FBI or something. I don't know. Just so many ideas were like crossing my
Yeah.
mind, and I was like, okay, agents, they work for like an agency. Like the FBI is kind of like an agency, like a government agency. So I was kind of like, what about La Agencia? And then the guys were like, yeah, that sounds pretty cool. And then we were so sick and tired of, trying to think of a name. So we were like, you know what, let's just do that. We're
Yeah.
going to be called La Agencia. And then that's how that was born.
I think it's a good name. I like it. It does it
Yeah,
has that commercial feel to it, you know?
yeah. But then it also has its drawbacks. It's like, well, La Agencia de qué? People are like, well, La Agencia de qué?
Lo que dicen o qué?
Yeah, we've had people say, oh, pues La Agencia de qué? Like, agency of what?
Are you guys hiring or what?
Yeah, always hiring, man.
uh, that's dope. La agencia,
But
no,
yeah, and we've been together for, man. Sometimes when I think of how many years we've been together, it's like, dang, we've been together that long. But I would say, I don't know, 4 or 5 years.
damn, really? That long already?
I feel like, yeah. Sometimes memories will pop up on like Facebook of, uh, you know, of us playing, and it says that it was like 4 years ago, and I was like, wow,
Damn.
we've
Damn.
really been,
I guess it's
but that
been.
was just, that's when we like got together and started playing, and we weren't as good as we are now,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it's been a process.
Yeah, I mean, just dealing with a group, because even when I used to do the rap thing with the group, it's definitely a dynamic, right? Because you have a bunch of people that everybody has their own ideas, their own, you know, whatever they want to do. They everybody has their own thing that they want to bring to the table, and it's hard to
Yeah,
have everybody's opinion and just put it together. It's like it's always a challenge, and then you have to yeah,
definitely.
then you have to worry about people being on time on things, and it's like, come on, I told you guys to be in here, and then it's like, man, I already,
Guilty, man. I'm guilty of
I
that.
already know, bro.
Guilty of, you got to be there. You got to be here at this hour.
Yeah,
Practice is at this time, and
yeah,
sometimes I'm on time. Sometimes I'm early. Sometimes I'm late. I'm guilty. I'm guilty.
yeah. I mean, I know none of us is perfect, you know, so it's something that's gonna
Yeah,
happen, but just the point of dealing with the group, it's a harder dynamic than being a soloist. I imagine. I mean, you know,
yeah, yeah. I mean, everybody has their jobs. Everybody has their
their lives.
some guys are in school. Some
Yeah.
exactly. Everybody has their life, and you have to work around. You have to work around all of that and make time uh, as a group to get things done. And yeah, that's definitely one of the hard things of being in a group.
So what are the new goals for La Agencia? What do you guys have planned for? Well, I know it's kind of crazy right now, and you guys. I mean, I'm sure there hasn't been no events lately, but what are
Yeah,
what?
unfortunately, events have been canceled,
I
and
know.
we haven't been able to get together
Yeah,
to practice. Um,
yeah, it's crazy.
with this whole COVID thing going on, yeah,
So
kind of messing things up.
what are the plans though? Have you guys talked about the future, at least for next year or something? Like what's gonna happen? Are you guys still doing
Yeah,
shows or not?
we definitely want to record, some tracks. Um, you know, lately there's been a lot of types of music that's getting a lot of attention. For example, like music styles.
Mm-hmm.
Like we have the like los corridos verdes, what they call them, where they're talking about uh, the ones that
Verdes.
talk about, yeah, like the ones that talk about like smoking weed
Oh,
and
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
right, like for
Tercer
example,
elemento stuff.
el tercer elemento, and then there's
Yeah.
legado siete.
Yeah. La,
So
la, re- la
all that stuff is
Regida.
big. Yeah,
Yeah.
fuerza rígida, like that's like big right now.
What about corridos tumbados? Isn't that another genre?
There's like corridos tumbados también.
Yeah.
Um, and honestly, we can play those type of songs, and we've definitely played them, covers, learned them for parties
Mm-hmm.
and things like that. But it's not really our style.
Yeah, it's norteño, right?
Um, yeah, more like traditional música norteña,
Yeah.
um, and that's the kind of things that we like to play, and the type of uh, songs that we've recorded. It's kind of more of a norteña feel, more of a Tejano feel to it. Um, but I would say, one of our goals is to record a track uh, of more of like a corrido,
Yeah.
uh, more of like a modern type corrido.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of our goals, I would say, for the future.
So
Um,
what about like a album? No, when is an album gonna come out?
an album, yeah, yeah,
That's the big
it's
question.
yeah, it's tough because um, me the songs that we recorded, they're songs that I've written,
Yeah.
and I gotta tell you, writing songs is hard.
No, yeah, I definitely know that.
It's really hard, and the hard thing for me is because when I write a song, I want it to have like a catchiness to it,
Mm-hmm.
like a chorus that I feel the 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 public, the fans will be like, oh, I like that. It has a ring to it. Makes me
Mm-hmm.
want to sing along to it.
Yeah.
So that's in my mind when I'm writing a song. And then the chord progressions you want to put into it, the feel that you want it to have.
Yeah.
Um, it's really challenging. And obviously there's songwriters that are just so good at that. For me, it's challenging. It's obviously doable. We've recorded, you know, a few of my songs that
Mm-hmm.
I've written. Um, but yeah, for an album, I mean, obviously you can have other people write songs for you,
Yeah.
which is something
Ghostwriters.
that, yeah.
Yeah.
I think they say that more for like the rap game,
I mean,
the
it's still
ghost writers.
ghostwriting though, right?
But in la música regional mexicana,
Uh-huh.
it, that's really it's like a thing. It's a popular thing. Tienes tus compositores, your songwriters,
Compositores, yeah.
that they do songs for lots of groups. You have like Espinosa Paz, for example.
Mm.
He's written songs for so many artists, so many bandas, groups.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that's definitely a route that we can take to record an album.
Yeah.
But I mean, me personally, I also like to put my input in the songwriting uh, process. So,
Yeah.
uh, uh, to answer your question, I mean, I really don't have uh, an exact, date,
Mm-hmm.
but you never know. It's maybe it can come out next year.
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
I think that would be great if you guys released an album because I know that you guys can make really good music. I've seen it from my own eyes and
yeah,
plenty of times. So es nomás de que se pongan ustedes de acuerdo and you guys
y,
make it happen.
y, y que nos pongamos las pilas.
Y se pongan las double A's.
Yeah, no, los what are the bigger ones?
Oh, you want to go big? Damn.
Yeah, pues sí,
Yeah.
que se ponga las pilas a la agencia y,
Yeah.
and try to get that done.
I mean, it all depends too, I guess, right, on the goals that you guys have as a group and goals that you guys have as individuals. I mean, I'm not sure
Yeah,
what's on your
yeah,
minds, but that
and the way I see it is, all it takes is that one song
Yeah,
for a
exactly.
song for a group to blow up. All it takes is one song,
Yeah,
and you know,
yeah. You
our
guys should do the next El Coco No song. You know, something similar.
yeah, something fun,
So,
something that
yeah,
yeah, because there's songs out there, they're silly,
yeah,
but they're catchy,
yeah.
and
Uh-huh.
and next thing you know, you hear it everywhere. Next thing you know, that group is famous or that artist is famous, and yeah, that's all it takes. And that's the goal for
Les,
any artist, for any group.
les falta grabar como una cumbia con norteña o algo, or banda, I don't know. Something that's like movidita.
Yeah, so yeah, that's definitely a goal as well
Yeah.
to like I said, record a corrido and then record a cumbia, record a fun song.
Yeah,
Uh, definitely, definitely the goals.
that's cool, man. So reaching about the hour. Is there any other things you want to comment on? Anything you want to say before we end the podcast?
Well, I just want to give a shout out to my group members, to La Agencia. Shout out to you guys. Hopefully we can get together soon and get back to normal and continue with this music thing, and everybody stay safe out there,
Mm-hmm.
and for all those people that want to pick up an instrument or want to start singing or want to start doing something with music, do it. Pick up that guitar, pick up that accordion, and look up videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
Practice, teach yourself, and yeah, I mean, it's doable.
Yep. That's what I tell everybody. It's a YouTube University. Everything's on
Yeah,
there. And
exactly.
if
Everything's on there.
if anybody wants to reach you or La Agencia, how can they get in touch? Like, where do they go?
So we have our official Facebook page. Look up La Agencia Oficial, and we're also on Instagram, Agencia Oficial as well. You can shoot us a message. You can also find us on YouTube. We have some videos up of some live performances, and you could also find our singles that we have recorded. They're also on YouTube.
Spotify too, no?
Um, yeah, and our music is on Spotify and iTunes and all those digital platforms.
Yeah.
But yeah, to contact us, yeah, shoot us a message on Instagram or Facebook,
Yep.
and we'll reply.
Yep. Check them out. Check out the music video I shot for them, Hombre Frio. Really dope video that we got to shoot.
Yep, and we did that in what, a day, 2 days.
Yeah, it was a crunch time, but I think it came out really good for the resources we had and just like the time and everything. I think it came out really well.
Yeah, it did, and it was our first video, our first experience doing, not for you, but for us, it was our, it was an experience for us.
It's just the first of many, man. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Pretty soon, ya que todo esté mejorando, I'm pretty sure we're gonna be able to shoot more stuff. So.
Yep, got to do more videos too.
Yep.
Because everything nowadays is visual.
Oh yeah, definitely a lot of that. But anyways, thank you again, Sobrino, for being on the podcast, and I'm sure we'll have many more podcasts, and definitely gotta hang out pretty soon. Ya que todo esté mejorado.
Yeah, thanks for having me on and chatting it up.
Sounds good, man.
Much love to the fam.
Yep, likewise, brother. All right, man. Well, para la próxima, pues.
All right, take it easy.
Ciao.